The Marvelous Catch of Old Hannibal. Story and pictures by Bethe Amoss. It was a lovely day down by the sea. The sky was blue and the air smelled of salt and fish. Billy walked along collecting shells. He saw his friend, Old Hannibal, cleaning a small croaker, a very small croaker. "Hello, Old Hannibal," said Billy, looking at the one little fish. "Not much luck this morning?" "Well, now, Billy boy, I wouldn't say that," said Old Hannibal, not looking up from his work. "In fact, I'd say it was a lucky day, a marvelous catch." "But it's only one little bitty fish, Old Hannibal." "Ah, that's what you see now, my boy. But if you saw everything I caught this morning, sure you'd say, 'That's a great catch, Old Hannibal, a marvelous catch, the best I ever did see.'" "I would? How many fish did you catch?" "Well, it happened like this," said Old Hannibal, satisfied at last that the fish was scaled. "Early this morning, before the sun came up, I set out in my skiff. The sea was still and smooth, and I rowed far out from shore, well past Horn Island. You can be sure I didn't come too close to that eerie place, for they say the ghost of Stumptooth the pirate still searches there for his lost treasure. I rowed till I could see land no longer, and the sea was so deep its color was a royal blue. I threw my line in, and no sooner did it hit the water than I pulled in this very fish you see here. That was only the beginning. I threw my net out the back of the boat and hauled in a mighty load of mullet. Then with my spinning reel, I caught a swordfish big as you. I caught mullet and gullet, scrod and cod, snappers and flappers, trout and spout, cats and flats, stripers and snipers, till my boat was so full, one more and to the bottom of the sea I'd have sunk. I headed for shore. Now what do you think happened? A giant Galathus scalapicus. That's a fish so wicked and mean no man has dared to study his ways, spotted his dinner. It was my boat full of fish. He swam right up, his huge jaws gaping wide, and swallowed fish, boat, oars, and me. There I was inside that fish. Billy, I'm telling you, that's the darkest, blackest place there ever was. Lucky for me, I had my flashlight in my pocket. I flicked it on and saw I was in the huge round belly of the Galapagos Scalathus. His ribs gleamed white in the light. His gills blew cold, wet chills. It was hard standing up. So slippery was the inside of that great monster of the deep. I decided the quicker I got out, the better. I thought fast, and then with my fishing pole, which fortunately I'd never let go, I tickled that old man-eater's ribs. While he shook and rocked, he heaved and quacked. He wheezed and then he sneezed. He sneezed so loud it sounded like 100 pounds of TNT. And me, I started rushing through that fish, upside down and twirling around, till I blew clean through his nostrils. That sneeze was so great, I flew along at 50 miles an hour. I could see land, and luckily I was headed in that direction. Imagine my amazement when I saw traveling with me, same direction, same speed, that very first croaker I'd caught. I reached out and grabbed him under the gills and strung him to a line on my belt. By the time we landed, we were in shallow water just a few yards out from this very spot. I waded in, and here I am. But the boat, old Hannibal, how did you get your boat back? Well, now, Billy, I'm glad you asked me that. As a matter of fact, I guess my boat gave the old sea monster a stomachache and he spit it out. As I was cleaning this croaker just before you came up, my boat drifted right into shore on the crest of the rising tide. Now, Billy boy, how about this here fish? Is it or is it not a splendid catch, a marvelous catch? The best you ever did see. Old Hannibal, said Billy, I think it's a whopper. The end.